The ruins still smoked. Sergeant Aaron Hale stepped carefully over shattered stone and bent metal, his boots crunching on the blackened rubble. The village had once been beautiful, woven homes strung among the great jungle trees, bridges of living vine connecting families high above the ground. Now, it was nothing but ash and silence. The slavers had come through here. He could still see the scorch marks of plasma rifles on the walls. Aaron's orders were to scout the region, locate survivors, and report. But after 3 days of wandering destruction, he had begun to believe there were none left. His comms crackled uselessly. The jungle canopy was too thick to transmit. He paused, scanning the broken clearing. That was when he heard it. A sound. Small. Fragile. A child's cry. He dropped his rifle to low ready, ear straining. The sound came from beneath a collapsed shelter of woven roots. He rushed forward, shoving aside debris with raw strength. Beneath the wreckage, huddled in the shadows, were 2 small forms. One was a tiny alien girl, no more than 7. Her skin was a pale lilac, her wide eyes glowing faintly in the dark. Her hair was knotted with soot and leaves. Beside her lay an even smaller bundle, a baby, swaddled in torn fabric, too weak to cry. The older girl's head snapped up as Aaron pulled the last root free. She gasped, then instinctively shielded the baby with her arms. "Don't hurt us," she cried in broken standard, her voice trembling. Aaron dropped to one knee, setting his rifle aside.
Hey,
it's all right. I'm not here to hurt you. My name's Aaron. I'm human." She blinked, studying him with terrified eyes. Slowly, her shoulders lowered. "You're not slaver?" "No," he said firmly. "I fight them." She hesitated, then whispered, "My name is Lyra. This is my sister." Aaron's gaze fell to the infant, whose skin was nearly gray with weakness. Her tiny chest rose and fell in shallow breaths. "She is sick," Lyra said softly. "She needs milk. Please, only milk for my sister." Her voice cracked. "I tried to find some, but there is nothing left." Aaron's chest tightened painfully. That night, Aaron made camp. He boiled water in a survival tin, mashed jungle fruit into a paste, and mixed it into a crude substitute. It wasn't milk, not really, but it was warm and gentle on the baby's lips. She sucked weakly at the dropper he fashioned, tiny fingers curling around his glove. Lyra watched closely, wide-eyed. "She likes you," she whispered. Aaron smiled faintly. "She's stronger than she looks." The girl's eyes glistened in the firelight. "Her name is Ari. Our mother, she told me to protect her. Then the slavers came." She broke off, burying her face in her knees. Aaron reached across the fire, resting a hand gently on her shoulder. "You don't have to say more. I understand." But her words echoed in his chest like a wound. "Only milk for my sister, please." Days passed. Aaron carried Ari strapped to his chest while Lyra held his hand as they moved through the jungle. He hunted small game, collected fruits, boiled water. He told stories of Earth to distract her, of blue oceans and cities with towers so high they brushed the clouds. In turn, Lyra told him of her people, how they sang to the trees and wove the roots into homes, how her mother would braid her hair with flowers before festivals, how Ari had been born just a season ago, too young to remember peace. Every night, as the baby slept between them, Lyra would whisper, "Promise me she will live." And every night, Aaron would answer, "I'll do everything I can." But each day, the baby grew weaker. The jungle food wasn't enough. She needed real nourishment, something Aaron couldn't provide. Then came the storm. Rain lashed the canopy, wind tearing at their fragile shelter. Aaron shielded both children with his body as lightning split the sky. Eri whimpered weakly, her tiny chest rattling. Lyra clung to him, crying into his arm. She's going to die. Please, find her milk. Please, human, you must. Aaron's heart broke. He held her close, rocking her against the thunder. I won't let her go. Not while I'm breathing.
He didn't sleep that night.
At dawn, with the storm cleared, he made a decision. There was a military outpost 30 kilometers east. He hadn't gone that way because the jungle between was hostile. Predators, slaver patrols, poisonous plants. Alone, he might have made it. With 2 children, it was nearly impossible. But he couldn't watch the baby fade away. He strapped Eri to his chest again, took Lyra's hand, and started walking. The journey was brutal. Twice he fought off jungle beasts with his rifle. Once, they hid as a slaver drone skimmed overhead, its red eyes scanning the trees. Lyra's tiny hand squeezed his so hard it hurt. When Eri grew too weak to move, he stopped and fed her drops of boiled fruit water, whispering encouragement even as fear clawed at his throat. At night, he carried them both, stumbling forward through exhaustion. Every step, he heard Lyra's plea echoing in his mind. Only milk for my sister. On the 4th day, his beacon finally caught a signal. The outpost responded. A rescue party met them halfway, their medics rushing to take the baby from his arms. She's dehydrated, one medic muttered, checking vitals. Starving. Get her formula now. Lyra clung desperately to Aaron's hand as soldiers guided them toward the shuttle. Will she live? Aaron looked at the medics, then back to the child. Yes, he said firmly. She will. At the outpost infirmary, Aaron sat at Lyra's side. Through the glass, they could see Eri in a medical crib, tiny tubes feeding her, machines monitoring her fragile heart. For the first time, color returned to her cheeks. She stirred, opening her eyes weakly. Lyra pressed her palms to the glass, tears streaming down her face. She's okay? Aaron knelt beside her. She's okay. The girl turned, throwing her arms around his neck. Thank you. Thank you, human. He hugged her tightly, blinking back his own tears. You kept her alive, Lyra. You're the strongest big sister I've ever met. Weeks later, when the unit prepared to depart, Aaron faced a choice. Command wanted to transfer the girls to a refugee center. Safe, clean, well supplied. But when he told Lyra, she shook her head violently. No, not without you. You promised. You said you wouldn't let her die. You said you'd stay. Her words shattered him all over again. Aaron knelt, looking her in the eyes. I'll never leave you. Not if you want me to stay. Lyra clutched his hands desperately. Then please be our family. Behind the glass, baby Eri cooed softly, alive and safe. Aaron swallowed hard, the weight of their trust pressing down on him. He had lost comrades, lost battles, lost faith in the war. But here, in these children's eyes, he found something worth fighting for again. He pulled Lyra into his arms. All right, he whispered. From now on, we're family. Months later, aboard the evacuation transport, Aaron stood at the viewport. Beside him, Lyra leaned against his arm, Eri asleep in her lap. The stars stretched endlessly before them, carrying them toward a future none of them could predict. But for the first time, Aaron felt peace. Because in the darkest ruin, when all hope had burned away, a little alien girl's desperate words had broken his heart open and made room for something new.